Naked to the Night, written by Henry Myers. Fade in. Super. Joyville State Prison, New York, 2005. Exterior prison courtyard, day. The camera traverses a prison courtyard. Inmates are playing basketball, lifting weights, and other daily prison activities. Interior prison cafeteria, continuous. An inmate sweeps the floor of an empty cafeteria. Nicky Johns, 51, slender, well-groomed African-American, is doing his time. For a man in prison, he looks out of place, yet at home. A walking paradox, if there ever was one. A correctional officer comes into the room and heads towards him.
Hey, Nicky, drop the mop. Got good news for you.
Nicky, his back to the officer, continues to mop the floor, hardly recognizing his presence.
You're being released.
Nicky turns around and stares into his face.
What? You kidding?
Nope. Prisoner upstate confessed to the murder you were convicted of on his deathbed.
He takes the mop from Nicky's hands and drops it on the floor.
You're about to be a free man, bro. Let's go.
Exterior prison courtyard, continuous. The officer escorts Nicky through the courtyard to his cell. They pause while newly arrived inmates pass by. A loud shout is heard from a new inmate.
Nicky Johns!
Nicky turns his attention to the direction of the voice.
I don't believe it. Nicky! That's Nicky Johns!
Nicky and the officer continue across the courtyard to his cell. Another new inmate nearby watches him with a puzzled air.
What the fuck you talking about, fool? Ain't nothing but another prisoner like us.
The inmate looks at him with amazement.
Wrong. That dude right there, Nicky Johns, he owned the baddest fucking after-hours club on the East Coast. The man was a legend.
The overwhelmed inmate raises his arm and gives an animated fist pump.
Nicky! What up, bro?
Nicky nods his head as he walks past. He reflects on his life before entering prison and the incident that led him there. We look into his eyes. Flashback. Life before incarceration. Nicky enjoying the club life, drinking, dancing, having sex with various women. The night at the club during a fight when a patron was murdered. Nicky hauled away by police. Nicky being incarcerated. Exterior, outside prison gates, day. Two guards walk Nicky to the prison gates and let him out. Nicky stands outside the gates at a bus stop and smokes a cigarette. He paces back and forth, contemplating where to go. He pulls a tattered little black address book from his pocket. He leafs through a list of names with his finger and stops on the name of his father, Marcellus Johns. A Greyhound bus pulls up and Nicky boards. On the ride, he drifts in and out of sleep. His mind flashes back to nightmarish images of incidents he endured in prison over the past 15 years. Series of scenes. Nicky in prison. A younger Nicky in a knife fight, arm bleeding. Same Nicky locked up in solitary confinement. Nicky watching an inmate being gang raped. An older Nicky being denied by a parole board. Exterior, father's house, day. A very impoverished inner city neighborhood. He walks up to his father's rundown house and knocks on the door. The door opens. Marcellus Johns, 73, still athletic looking, wearing a big gray afro, a worn t-shirt, stands at the door. Life's treated him poorly, and he looks it. Smoking a cigarette, he doesn't say a word. They stare at each other, waiting to see who speaks first.
Surprised to see me?
What the hell you think? Yo ass supposed to be locked up another 10 years. What the fuck you doing here? Why are you at my doorstep?
Nicky invites himself in, brushing past Marcellus.
Life had a change of fate for me. Somebody confessed to killing and they let me out.
He drops his duffel bag on the floor and walks to the kitchen. He gets a beer from the refrigerator and plops down in a chair at the kitchen table.
Didn't want to come here, but I thought, who could I go to? Nobody. So I came to the biggest nobody I know, you.
Nicky looks around the filthy rooms in total disgust, shaking his head.
Looks like some things never change. Your house still looks shitty.
Yeah, looks shitty, just like you. 10 years. Not a word from you.
Beat.
Won't no point anymore. I ain't had nothing to say. I know we had problems when I got locked up, but I need you now. Maybe my being here means we get a chance to fix things between us.
Well, that's some funny shit. You come here out of nowhere and think we can fix things? We ain't fixing shit. Ain't nothing changed. It ain't true when you break shit you can fix it. Break shit, motherfucker, you own it.
Nicky bows his head.
Didn't know you was such a philosophical motherfucker, Dad.
How about this then? I don't want you here, Nicky. But it don't look like I got no choice. You can stay here, but don't get too comfortable, because the first time you cause me any problem, your ass is out of here.
Nicky picks up his belongings and heads back to a bedroom. Interior, a small bedroom, night. Nicky lies in the dark on a ragged bed staring at the ceiling, the room illuminated only by a muted television. He picks up a phone next to him and calls an old friend.
Boo-boo, it's me, Nicky. I'm out. Call Jabbo, Man, and T. I need to get out for a while. Tell them to meet me up at Tony's Grill.
Interior, Tony's Grill, night. Nicky sits in a corner booth with his old buddies, Boo Boo, 48, pretty boy, J-Bo, 51, ex-wannabe basketball player, Man, 45, dark-skinned, small-time gangster-like persona, and T, 52, short, overweight, mama's boy type, drinking and listening to music.
Hell, it was straight up hell. One day you're locked up with no hope. Next, you're on the street, still no hope. Either way, it's still fucked up. Jabba, what's been going on with you?
You know how it is, Nicky. Ain't much changed. Still at the crib, chillin' with my sister. I worked for a minute, till I got caught stealing shit. Ain't had no job since.
What? Still living with your sister? Fuck, I'm living with my sorry-ass daddy, so I can't talk. What about you, Man?
I'm alright, Nicky. Living with my baby mama. She gets welfare and I sell weed and shit. We got another one coming next month. That's 4 for me.
Nicky just shakes his head like he can't believe what he's hearing.
What's going on with you, T?
I'm good, Nicky. On probation for beating my bitch. Got a new bitch and just laying low.
An exasperated Nicky sips his beer and slams it on the table in disgust.
15 years. And you motherfuckers still doing the same shit you did when I left. Before I went to prison, I had the hottest after-hours club this city ever seen. I had all the women, money, and drugs you could ever want. Look what I got out of it. Nothing. I'm 51 now, and I'm done with that bullshit. That life is over, and I'm never going back to it again. I don't know about your sorry asses, but I gotta make a change, no matter what it takes.
Okay, Nicky, so what the hell that mean?
It means I ain't doing that shit no more. Look at us. You're way too old to be living like this. It's way past time to give that shit up. It's time for a normal life. You know, a real job, a house, a family.
Damn, that's deep, Nicky. But you know you full of shit, man. We are who we are. Ain't much we can do about that.
Yeah, right. You my boys and all, but you some sorry motherfuckers. We'll see about that.
Nicky gets up and leaves. Interior, Nicky's bedroom, bathroom, sunrise. The sound of a ticking clock. Suddenly, the alarm goes off. Nicky anxiously jumps up and heads for the bathroom to shower. In the shower, he washes his body.
The shit starts right here, right now. It's the first day of the rest of my life. I ain't stopping till I turn my life around.
He dresses. He puts on a cheap white dress shirt and clip-on tie. He heads out the door. Montage. Various job interviews. He travels around the city applying for jobs. He meets with a mixture of interest and indifference from prospective employers. Interior bedroom, day. Nicky's on the telephone. He looks disappointed as he receives calls saying he can't be hired because of his record. His frustration grows.
So, you're saying you can't hire me because of my record, but if I had a recommendation from a former employer, you could waive it? Okay, so in order to have a job, I have to have had a job? Man, I've been locked up for 15 years. That's bullshit.
He slams the phone down. Interior city bus, day. Nicky rides a bus to job interviews. He leafs down the page of a notebook with different names of businesses, each marked turned down. He looks out the window at the passing downtown streets. He notices a familiar face waving at him to get off the bus. It's Jackie Tin Man Sampson, 42, one-time nightclub rival. Flamboyant, blown-out big black afro, fingers covered in gold rings, he talks in a golden, silky voice. The bus stops and Nicky gets off. He goes to Tin Man and they hug. Exterior, city street, continuous.
Nicky Johns. What up, man? I thought you were fucking locked up. What you doing out here? What was it? 20 to life, right?
Yo, Tin Man, what up with you? Yeah, I'm out. I'm out because, well, first I didn't kill nobody, and second, the motherfucker that did died but confessed before he croaked, so here I am, back on the street again.
Damn, that's some heavy shit, man. I'm still in the game. Got me a little spot uptown. Club Aces. Illegal as a motherfucker. But I gotta get that easy money, you know what I mean, Nicky? So life is good, bro. Look, what you doing Friday night?
He reaches in his pocket and gives Nicky a flyer.
Here's the address. Come true so we can catch up.
Thanks, Tin, but I don't know. I'm done with shit like this. I'm trying to stay away from that life from now on.
I know, man. How long you been out? 6 months? A year? A little change of scenery ain't gonna kill you. Come true, Nicky. We got shit to talk about.
Nicky looks at the flyer and puts it in his pocket.
I'll think about it.
Yeah, think about it, Nicky. You're gonna love it. Good to see you back, man.
They dap each other and they depart. Exterior, Club Aces, night. Nicky sits in a car smoking a cigarette. He watches a long line of well-dressed revelers file in from outside the club. He gets out and walks towards the club. He's recognized by the bouncers patting down clubbers outside and is ushered past the crowd. Interior, Club Aces, continuous. The club is crowded and the music is pumping. Tin Man sits on a leather couch and drinks in a VIP booth. He sees Nicky and waves him over to join him. Nicky's surprised at what the club looks like. A waitress walks towards the table.
Hey, baby. Bring us a bottle of our best champagne.
He pulls out a blunt and lights it. He smokes, coughs, and hands it to Nicky.
Damn, Tin Man, your spot is the shit. What you pulling in tonight?
About 10 grand. You know what time it is. A lot of money out here, bootlegging liquor late at night.
Yeah, I remember. Wow, this vibe, music, drugs, women. I gotta admit, this was the life. The life changes.
That's what I heard. Sometimes it changes. In our minds. But the reality is, it's still the same old shit. Just a different day.
They chill, drinking and listening to music. A clock over the bar shows time passing. 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Meanwhile, images show them get high, mess with women, and dance till dawn. Finally, the clock says it's 6 a.m. Nicky and Tin Man sit in a VIP booth alone. The club is empty, except for the staff closing up.
Yeah, that was a crazy night, Tin Man. I haven't done that since I got locked up. Prison took everything from me I knew about living. It made me forget everything about being the man.
You ain't done, Nicky. You can have it all back if you want it. Look, I'm doing good, real good, but I can do better. Don't nobody know how to run shit like you. You were the best. You still the best. Nicky, I want you to come in with me as partner. 50-50 shit. With you in, we're talking about mad money. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm done with that shit, Tin. I promised myself I wouldn't come to this life again. I don't want to see another man die on the street. I just want to get on with my life.
No offense, Nicky, but let's keep it real. How long you been out? Almost a year? What you got to show for it? The new life you're looking for? That shit don't exist. It's just an illusion. This life here? This here is what's real.
Nicky swirls a straw in his glass and lights a blunt. He reaches in his pocket and takes out a little notebook with the list of jobs that denied him that week. He shakes his head.
Oh, I'd be damned, another motherfucking philosopher. I don't need you telling me that there's bullshit everywhere. But you did make me see dreaming is dreaming. Sometimes I guess you gotta keep it real. You're where you are, not someplace you're not.
Nicky pauses and contemplates his situation as he looks around the empty club.
I'm in, Tin Man. I'm back.
Interior, Dad's dining room, day. Marcellus is in the kitchen cooking breakfast. The house is a wreck. Nicky looks at his surroundings with a disgusted look on his face. He sits at the dining room table.
So I ran into Tin Man the other day.
Tin Man? Thought y'all had a big beef back in the day.
Yeah, but I'm past all that bullshit. I'm moving on and letting that old shit go. He's got an after-hours spot uptown now. I was there last night.
Oh, yeah? So what exactly does that mean? You were there.
He's doing good. Real good. He says with me, we could triple that shit in no time. Told him I'm in.
Marcellus stops cooking and stares Nicky in the face.
You lost your fucking mind? You just did 15 years behind that shit. Cost you your wife and kids. A man even got killed behind the shit you were doing, even if you didn't pull the trigger. Come home talking how you're bigger than that now, how you'll become a new man, stop playing the game. You damn near even had me believing that shit, and now you're going back to your old life?
Nicky, head lowered, solemnly shakes his head in agreement. He pulls the list of job denials from his pocket and shoves it in Marcellus's face.
See this shit? This is what it's like being a man when you've been locked up. It's, oh yes, you would be a fine worker, but you got a record. No, no, no. It's all I hear. It echoes into my head over and over again. No, no, no. Look at me, stuck in this piece of shit house with you. Every day I look in the mirror and face my biggest fear. Fear I ain't gonna make it. Fear I'm gonna be a nobody just like you. I can't go out like this. I gotta get back on the top the only way I know how.
You're a fucking fool, Nicky. Damn near 52 years old and you ain't learned a damn thing. Don't want to end up the way I did. You think going back to that life is going to make you better than me? Go ahead, motherfucker. Good luck. Loser.
Nicky slowly gets up and walks to his bedroom. He turns back towards Marcellus.
You know, you ain't never said nothing in life that makes any fucking sense. No need to change now, I see. I'm going back, and that's it.
Interior bedroom moments later. Music plays as Nicky rifles through a closet. He tosses out dress shirts and ties and stuffs them in a plastic bag. He takes out flashy clothes and jewelry and lays them on the bed. Hip-hop music plays in the background as Nicky gets back in the game. Montage. Nicky back in the game. Nicky on the streets passing out flyers. Nicky hanging out in various nightclubs giving patrons flyers for Club Aces. Nicky at Club Aces dealing with vendors, interviewing waitresses, buying liquor, etc. Tin Man and Nicky outside the club watching a long line of people waiting to get in. Interior supermarket day. Nicky puts a flyer on the supermarket bulletin board. A cute and demure young cashier, about 30, light skin and wearing glasses, is ringing a register nearby, catches his eye. Her name is Lynetta. He picks up a tabloid magazine to purchase to go through her line. While she rings him up, he starts a conversation.
I don't really read shit like this, do you?
No response. She keeps working.
So, how you doing today? You do talk to your customers, don't you?
She's somewhat put off by his language, but starts to take more notice.
I do. To paying customers. You buying that magazine?
Huh? Oh, yeah, I guess so. Let me see. I think I got everything I was looking for. Except your number. You know, you got great eyes.
She inspects him up and down.
Is that line all you have? You're a bit old for a playa, aren't you? But you sound sweet. You're getting points for that. I'm Lynetta. I work here while I finish my nursing degree.
He smiles, and a conversation ensues. Time lapse. An animated Nicky hangs around talking to her between customers. His gestures seem to indicate he's trying to convince her to go out with him. She, in turn, alternately resists and laughs at his persistence, and finally nods her head. She accepts. Montage, sometime later. Nicky and Lynetta having dinner, going to the movies, walking under the moonlight holding hands. Other things showing them having a good time. Super, 6 months later. Interior Club Aces night. Nicky and Tin Man sit on a VIP couch, looking out over the crowd and having drinks. The jam-packed club is a frenzy of activity as music pumps and patrons dance wildly. Bartenders ring sales non-stop. A clock over the bar shows it's 3 a.m. Exterior, Club Aces continuous. Cars, one after another, roll by, depositing passengers in front of the club. Security constantly opens the club door, ushering people in. Nicky has made the club bigger than ever. Interior, Club Aces continuous.
Hey, Nicky, it's the joint. It's the joint, man. I knew it, Nicky. I knew you could do it.
They toast to their success.
You know, Tin Man, this is where I'm supposed to be. You helped me make the best decision of my life, man.
Two fine women come over and one sits on Nicky's lap. He pours her some champagne.
Women, drugs, money, living large. We ain't hurting nobody either, right, Tin Man?
Tin Man hugs up on the other woman.
Damn right. We making loot, having fun, living the life. Don't get no better than this, homie. It's nice to have the old Nicky back again.
Climactic view of the club. Every element of the goings-on come into the scene as they sit back and observe. Over black, gangster rap music. Super. 6 months later. Interior, Club Aces, night. A weary Nicky sits alone in a corner booth in the club, a blank expression on his face. A very young crowd dressed in more gangsta-style hip-hop street fashion permeate the club.
You know, this ain't the same old crowd I left 15 years ago. Where do these fools come from? Same bullshit every night. Vomiting in bathrooms, drunkards passing out in the club, men disrespecting women, fighting. This is all bullshit.
The music pulses and the crowd dances. Nicky remains sullen and detached from his surroundings. All of a sudden, there's a loud disturbance. He rushes to the scene and is faced by a menacing young male patron.
Hey, whoa, young buck, can't act like that in here.
Who the fuck are you?
Security rushed to Nicky's aid to handle the situation.
Y'all get back, I got this. You wanna know who the fuck I am? Well, I'm two people. I'm the owner of this spot, and I'm the last motherfucker you wanna fuck with tonight. So I suggest you calm the fuck down.
I don't give a shit who you are. I'm about to turn this motherfucker out in here.
He pulls out a gun. Before he can point it at him, Nicky wrestles the pistol away and takes him to the floor. He aims the gun at his head.
You know who I am now, bitch-ass nigger? I did 15 years doing time taking care of shit like you. Why you want to go there? I should blow your motherfucking head off.
Nicky seems to have snapped, and security keeps yelling, "Put the gun down, Nicky! Put it down, man!" But Nicky is in another zone. He holds the gun to the man's head for what seems like an eternity, while in the background, the repeated yelling of the security guard sounds muffled in his ears. Vacillating and disoriented, he suddenly returns to reality and plainly hears the voices of security. He takes the gun away from the young buck's head. Security takes hold of it.
Nicky, you alright? We got this. Hold the young buck.
Nicky gathers himself and walks away.
Just get his ass out of here.
Interior, back room continuous. Nicky, still enraged and breathless, goes back to his office. He pours himself a shot of Hennessy and lights a blunt. He's filled with emotion. He heaves as if he's going to puke. He paces back and forth around the room.
I'll be goddamned. So this is it? In a second, I almost lose everything again? All I wanted was not to go back. Find a way to go forward and stay away from this shit. Look at me. I'm still stuck in my past. Lord. What am I going to do?
Interior, exterior, Club Aces continuous. Nicky rushes from the office through the club and out the front door. He gets in his car and drives off in a frenzy. Interior, Dad's dining room, night. Nicky sits at the table in tears. He pours himself a drink and smokes a blunt. Marcellus comes in.
Nicky, what the hell is wrong with you, boy? Why are you sitting up and bawling like a little pussy?
I almost killed a man tonight at the club. I lost it. I just went the fuck off. I had a gun pointed at his head and I didn't feel a thing. Who the hell was I kidding? I thought I had all the answers and I was dead fucking wrong. How could I possibly think I could be somebody else? You said I was a loser. I didn't buy that shit, but maybe you were right. Hurts like hell to give you credit for anything. You don't deserve it.
Marcellus stands over Nicky. For the first time, he feels sorry for him. He pats him on his shoulders.
Son, you all right?
Nicky brushes his hands off him and angrily jumps up from the table.
Am I all right? Am I all right? Hell no, I'm not all right. In fact, I'm really fucked up right now. I keep thinking about what this shit is really about. And I realized it's not about me. It's about you. All the bullshit you put us through. Me, Mom, my sisters. I fought so hard to never be like you. Always fighting to be my own man. Always losing. Until I totally fucked it all up. Well, I hope you're goddamn happy now, Dad. The job is complete. Everything I've done has been for nothing. I still turned out to be the same piece of shit as you.
Marcellus, stung by Nicky's words, sobs. Nicky slams his glass on the table and heads to his bedroom. He falls on the bed and passes out in a drunken stupor. Interior, Nicky's bedroom day. Nicky awakens groggy and lights a blunt. He gets up and goes into a drawer and pulls out a letter. Letter insert. It reads, "Dear Nicky." The remainder of the letter is blurred except the last line. "My door is always open if you need me when you get out." It's signed, "Your old army buddy, Johnny," and a phone number. Nicky makes a phone call and converses with someone. He hangs up and begins to pack clothes in a bag. Exterior, father's house, continuous. He gets in his car and drives off to pay Johnny a visit to get away from everything. Exterior, Johnny's house, day. Nicky knocks on the door. It opens. On the other side is Johnny Templeton, 55, slightly balding with a touch of gray, a little overweight. You sense his street smarts, now tempered by age and wisdom. He smiles and they embrace.
Welcome, Nicky. I'm glad to see you, brother. Come on in.
Interior, Johnny's house, continuous. He shows Nicky around his house. They end up in the kitchen where they have dinner together. We see them later, getting dressed to go out for the night. Interior, Johnny's bedroom, night.
I worried about you every day you were in the joint, Nicky. Kept thinking about all the wild times back in the day.
Yeah, crazy times. Remember Germany? Black market, Fraulein's, drugs, clubbing to the break of dawn. You were the man. I knew I could learn from you.
I liked your style, Nicky. Knew it from the start we was gonna hit it off. It tore my heart out when I heard you were in prison. That was not for you, man.
Oh, well, you dream of how life will turn out, and it turns out so differently. I've been a smart guy all my life. Too smart for all the bullshit I've gotten myself into. I had a second chance, but I still fucked it up. I gotta figure this thing out, Johnny.
A pensive and frustrated Nicky puts the finishing touches on his wardrobe.
Where are we going tonight? You know how I like to roll. Take me to the hottest spots in the city.
Johnny finishes dressing.
I got something special in mind. I'm gonna surprise you.
Oh yeah? Sounds cool to me.
Interior, exterior, Johnny's car, night. They leave the house and they drive off. We see them talk through the car window. Johnny pulls into the parking lot of a huge church.
Hey, what's up, Johnny? This ain't no club. What are we doing at this church?
It's my surprise. It's my church, Nicky. I'm a minister now.
Nicky is shocked. They get out of the car and go inside. Interior, Johnny's church, continuous. They slowly walk down the aisle to the front of the church. Nicky looks around, amazed. The church is huge and beautiful.
You, Johnny? No way. You a minister? I could have imagined a lot of things, but not this.
Yeah, Nicky. I wanted to talk to you. But I knew it had to be here.
They take a seat on the front pew.
I was gonna do it right this time, Johnny, but that didn't work out. I did my best, but I still went back to the streets. I just couldn't find no other way.
There's silence for a moment. Nicky breaks down in tears.
I wanted to fix things this time, and I blew it. I don't know what else I could do.
Johnny puts his arms around Nicky's shoulders.
I know it was hard. And when I didn't hear from you when you got out, I knew something wasn't right. But I knew you'd have to come through it your own way, easy or hard. It turned out hard.
So hard, Johnny. Why it gotta be like that?
What I needed to say, I couldn't tell you. I needed to show you. I had to wait for you to reach out to me to show you, even if it's hard. It's never too late.
Johnny stands up and looks around his church as he contemplates his own journey.
Look at me, a preacher. You and me, we both cut from the same cloth, and I changed. Try it again, Nicky. I'm the proof you need to see you can do it.
Nicky slouches down in the pew. He's silent. He sits upright and wipes tears from his eyes.
I'm the one holding myself back, right?
Have faith, Nicky. Believe in yourself. I'm with you. And so's God. Pray with me.
Nicky and Johnny get on their knees and pray. They stand up and embrace each other. They leave the church and go back to Johnny's house. Exterior, Johnny's house, night. They look at each other at Johnny's front door as Johnny nods reassurance. He opens the door. They enter to retire for the night. Interior, Johnny's guest bedroom, day. Nicky lays in bed staring at the ceiling as he ponders his next move.
I was hopeless when I came here. Now I believe that I can still change my life thanks to Johnny. I'm gonna fight this. I'm gonna fight this the right way. Whatever it takes.
Dissolve to, series of shots, Nicky starts over. Nicky moving out of his dad's house. Nicky outside Club Aces saying goodbye to Tin Man. Nicky working as a waiter at a country club. Nicky studying at night with his new love, Lynetta. Super. 1 year later. Series of shots. Nicky getting his degree. Nicky talks with a club member who offers him a supervisor job at the country club. Nicky in an office wearing a suit supervising a staff of workers. Nicky and Lynetta moving into an apartment together. She's wearing nursing clothes. Nicky visiting Marcellus, hugging each other. Dissolve to, super, a few years later. Interior, quiet home study, night. The camera pans a table filled with pictures of Nicky from his past. Nicky sits at a desk, and the camera peers over his shoulder as he types. Suddenly, 2 young children burst into the room and jump into his lap. Lynetta enters the room.
Come on, kids. Let Daddy work. How's your memoir coming, baby?
Nicky kisses the kids, and they jump down from his lap.
Everything is good. Life couldn't get any better.
Fade out.